Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
All right, here we are, back another Thursday. Yeah?
Yep.
That was a delayed reaction.
Well, I don't know where I'm at.
Oh, I can tell you where you're at. You're 227 Market Street.
Okay.
Alton, Illinois. Broadcasting on 107.1 FM.
I do know that we
for
have
the first time
Mr. Big George Brock Jr.
in
the studio.
We do have him, and you know what else we still got that we've had for a long time? We got Halpin Music as a sponsor.
And Mr. Matt Van Voorhis.
And I want
to see insurance.
I want to say a couple of special thank yous. First of all, from Halpin Music, John Mondon. He is I haven't got it back yet, but he has set up my solid body Gretsch and rewired my pickups, and it's all ready for me. So thanks to Mr. Mondine and Halpin Music for that service.
Why do you always butcher his name?
I like it, Mondine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why do I call Sarah Schumaki? I don't know.
I think somebody else ought to get a radio show and do nothing but butcher the name of your band.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I would laugh. Anyway, also, super big thanks to Mr. Matt Van Voorhis. I had a little issue Friday.
Uh-oh.
RV burned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a little RV fire. Matt was there as the fireman was still there, and Matt was already on the scene. So, and made it easy, and him, a big thanks to the Godfrey Fire Department, too, for helping me out there and keeping that. Was going to catch my house on fire if they hadn't got there. So, big thanks to those guys for saving my house. And, that Matt, man, he was there before the fireman left. It was crazy how fast he got there. It's like somebody put a Matt Van Voorhis signal, like the bat signal, up in the sky, and he swooped in. But thanks to everybody who helped out with that situation. Now that I got my big thank yous out of the way, to Mr. Mondine, Mr. Mondon, Mr. Mondon, and Mr. Van Voorhis. Thanks so much to those guys. Okay. Now, back to the action.
Well, it's your show, buddy. Go.
It ain't my show. I just wanted to give out some thanks,
I
man.
thought you just took over. Started changing band names. You said it was great to do, and, everyone should do it, even to me. And
Tripsy Gypsies is awesome. I love the Tripsy Gypsies. They're not even a band anymore, but I don't...
It's awesome to you.
John Mondon is butchering my guitar. He's like, Mondine, huh? I'm sorry, John. Just having fun. We've moved, though. That's the other big news, right?
Oh, well, I guess so.
I guess so.
Feels the same to me. I'm just saying, we're still at cottonmouth.org. We're still on YouTube, same place.
And still at 227 Market Street, sitting in the same seats with the same microphones.
I guess that's all the same.
It's sort of the same, just a little different, but... Anyway,
we're saying there might be somebody new listening in because we're at a different spot on the dial.
Absolutely.
So I thought about that once. You remember the old days when you had to roll that tuner to find all them stations? Now you just type it in, right?
Well, or you hit seek.
Or scan, right?
Yeah, scan. There you go.
Do you do that?
I do.
I did it for a while, and I realized, hey, there's 3 stations.
Program those 3 in and forget it, huh?
And then there's KDHX, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to give Casey a little props because they have been unique at times in their career. But most of the other stations are the same 3 stations over and over.
I want to throw out speaking of other radio stations, I don't know, I just caught a glimpse of this tonight on Facebook, and I didn't have time to look into it because I was on my way out the door to come here, but Tom Pullen is Mojo Music.
I've seen that.
Is sponsoring a local show. I love the fact that they're going to do a local show on 89.9 because we back in the day when we were on 89.9,
I played all local bands when I was music director.
Absolutely, there was so much local music was part of that station, and it seems like that has kind of gone away over the years. Happy to see that coming back because all the local bands, man, they need some love out there.
Well, your buddy John Valley's ahead of the game over there at KDHX.
Absolutely.
He's been doing it for a while now on Thursday nights at, I want to say it's late, like 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're hot on getting him as a guest. You're
I
right
am.
on top of that.
I'm right on top of it. We're going to get him in here. The problem is that his show's on Thursday nights, but I think we can work that out. So.
And Art Dwyer does also. He features local artists too on the Blues in the Night program from 4 to 7.
Nice.
On Friday night.
Man, don't you love that? Seeing the.
And I believe Papa Ray does too, so I better give him a shout out too on Mondays.
There are quite a few DJs, and I do it on my show where I played the Driftaways this Tuesday. Excuse me. But I don't just do a local show, but I do, I'm happy to play some local music in it. But I love it when the guys dedicate it, like Dennis here. He did basically a strictly local show, and it's like, it means you're out on the scene. You're constantly, and this community, there's enough music coming out of it to do it, I do believe. We got so many bands. We got our own studio down the road now, so
record store?
A record store right across the street, man, and venues galore. We've got how many pages of gigs happening here? Like, just an insane, for 5-6 pages here. And that's Thursday through Sunday, basically, this side of the river. Lots of venues. So, man, we got a poppin' scene going on here.
3 or 4 websites that promote bands and stuff like that, at least.
Yeah. So, man, that's you gotta love it when you see the people come together and support the local music and art scene the way that this community does. So, Big George, I'm sure you get a lot of support when you're out there.
No kidding. I'm ready to fight. I've been looking for the girl out all night. When I get her in my sight, boom, boom, out go the lights.
He does it with a toothpick in his mouth. Like he's so relaxed. He's just like, I'm just chewing on a toothpick and singing, baby. You might as well be sitting on your porch.
Hey, let me say this. I appreciate you guys, man. I love you guys, man. I appreciate you having me down. And, most people who don't know me, I'm Big George Brock Jr., son of the legend Big George Brock in St. Louis. And I'm with a band called the NGK Band.
Right on.
And we play local all around the Metro East. As a matter of fact, we'll be at Stagger Inn tomorrow night and the Grafton Winery and Brew House Saturday. We'll be in Edwardsville tomorrow and the Stagger Inn at 9 o'clock. And we'll be at the Grafton Winery Saturday starting at 3 o'clock to 7.
There you go.
Nice.
And Big George, he's royalty. If you're unaware who Big George is, he's a prince because his dad is the king of the blues. That makes him the prince. Self-proclaimed king. Self-proclaimed king of the blues. but that makes you the prince of the blues.
That's right.
I heard there was a competition once where maybe it didn't go quite fairly.
Well, let's review that one time real quick. Long story short, we had a blues battle for the battle of the belt for the belt. His heavyweight championship belt my dad has and in his possession. And needless to say, we were at the club across the bridge, Deja Vu, and we had a big show. It was a beautiful show. It was a really nice turnout. And due to the fact because I sang a Motown song, I was disqualified out of the competition. So Dad was declared the winner. Needless to say, the crowd said that the NGK man actually won the competition. So I am the reigning heavyweight champion of the blues. And that goes for whoever's out there listening, Marquise Knox, Big Mike Aguirre, and whoever else out there you're claiming to be, you know what I'm saying? Come on, anytime, anywhere, Big George Brock Jr. is ready, and the NGK band, we stay ready.
All right. If anybody
got some head cutting going on,
and if anybody responds to this, we're going to have to get WPW involved and borrow the ring and set the bands up in the square circle. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. So and now the NGK band, that's no joke either. Those are some solid veterans you've got behind you there.
Yes, I do. I'm blessed to be able to have over 100 years years of experience in this band. We have Mr. Nephew Davis, who's in the National Blues Hall of Fame, plays with the Impressions, the Brooks Brothers, part of the Impressions, Jerry Butler and them. We have, Cap David Timms, who is our drummer. David was with the Ground Floor Band from pretty much its inception, and David's been around a long time. Very good pocket drummer, solid, and vocalist. Then we just added on Mr. Michael Harris, who also played with David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks and them, and Michael and Nephew are a part of an organization out of East St. Louis that was called the Young Disciples back in the day, but they're called Yodi is the nickname for it. A lot of top musicians in St. Louis, East St. Louis and St. Louis that were a part of that organization from back in the 60s and the 70s. Wow. And those cats was very professional, so I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
And when you've got a nice solid band, you get to relax. You're not worried about the train running off the tracks or
No.
When you're thinking about holding that train on the tracks, it's hard to just relax and sing sometimes. But that's great, man. And
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Every time I've seen you play has been a beautiful thing. If you've never been to an NGK show, you're missing out because it's hard to sit still. You just want to get up and dance. You want to have a good time. And then the best part is Big George, during the breaks, he just sits down and you can go up and say, "What's up, George?" And anything you want to know about the blues, you can find out right there. Because he's an a walking encyclopedia of the blues.
Oh, well, I don't know nothing about the blues. I sing Motown.
A little bit,
I get disqualified.
Right? I like to see the instant replay. I like to see the instant replay.
It still hurts.
Now, but you know, how old's your pops again?
Pops is 87. Dad will be 88 this year in May.
87 going on 88.
Mm-hmm. Grew up right there in Mississippi, right? Grenada.
Yeah, Clarksdale.
Yeah, Clarksdale, right?
Ground Zero, baby.
Yeah.
Yep, Ground Zero. His manager, Roger Stoley, and all them cats down there. Cathead Records, which they build around Pops, from out of there. So, it is what it is. I mean, Pop's been around a long time, so it's almost getting to that point. So he's trying to gear me up to, try to come in, fill in his shoes. So it's some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all jokes aside, so,
You got any plans to head down to the Delta?
He's got a show that he's supposed to be doing. If weather permits and his health permits, then I'll be going to Clarksdale with him for a show down at Ground Zero.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
How long's it been since you've been down that way?
Oh, it's been some years.
Yeah.
Actually, while I was in Texas, we traveled. The Detonators with the band I was with. We traveled to Texarkana, then we went into Hot Springs, and we was starting to open up some doors in Arkansas, and then, the economy tanked out, and, back to Fort Worth, and then let me get back to St. Louis. So, get back to familiar ground.
Right.
Clubs closing and things like that. So,
Yeah.
I had to get back home.
And St. Louis has always had a good scene. We were talking about that, with so many people, and you were talking about how even in your dad's day, they look forward to St. Louis because they're going to get paid.
Right.
They're going to get some dinner. They're going to get paid. And when you're trying to make your way from Alabama, up to Chicago or whatever, it was one of the best stops.
St. Louis was a stop. Yeah, it's like Memphis. Then those that got to St. Louis they got here. Then you had people like, Albert Kane. His first gig was with my dad.
Yeah.
So, he gave him his first job here. Of course, Albert was doing his thing then, and, he branched off from Pop, and then he got his own band together. Then he started recording, I think, with the Bobbin record label. I think it was Bobbin record label, and he did a few things. Next thing you know, he was on his own doing his thing.
Right.
So,
he kind of took off there.
Little Milton Campbell was right there. in East St. Louis, Little Bluebird. Little Milton right there in East St. Louis. They'll come up from South. Ike Turner.
Yeah.
You know.
Who's that?
Tina.
Who's Ike? Who's that?
Remember Ike?
You better remember.
You know, I heard a story. According to Sam Phillips, Ike Turner, he credits Ike Turner with inventing distortion, like heavy distortion for guitars. And the story he tells was that Ike was on his way to Memphis and was going to record down there at Sun Studios, and his amp fell out of the back of the station wagon they were traveling in.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people can say what they want to say about the man. I mean, you know, of course, you guys know I have access to and I'm privy to a lot of other information that a lot of folks don't know. But, you know, you can say what you want about the man personally, but he was a genius musically. And, you know, the man knew his stuff, and he was a hard driver, you know, band leader.
Hard driver. Especially like if you listen to like the movie or whatever, that, you know, there's a scene where all the girls they finally make some money and they're all having fun out in the pool, and he's in his studio and he's like, "Yo, shut up, I'm trying to work." And all they're doing is they're just like playing in the pool and having fun, enjoying the money they finally made. And he's just like, "Yo, shut up."
Yeah, he was a
hard man. But man, again, some good stuff coming out of that.
Good stuff. And then of course Oliver Sane.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how can you forget Mr. Sane? I mean, Oliver Sane, and you know the things he did, the contributions to music that he did, and oh man, I mean, this list just goes on on and on.
How about Johnny Johnson? You ever meet Johnny? You ever get a chance to talk? I know a lot. He was around quite a bit. He was a very approachable person.
Yes, he was. And Mr. Townsend, Henry Townsend, you know, there's back the old Delta Blues, you know, coming up. Those are some beautiful characters, man, you know, beautiful people. Yeah. Big Bad Smitty. Somebody put on Facebook the other day about Big Bad Smitty, and as a personal friend. I didn't go into details because, you know, like I said, I'm privy to the information that a lot of folks don't know. Right. You know, he was a character.
Right. Well, not everybody's lived a life where you're sitting at grandma's and B.B. King just walks over for dinner.
Right.
You know, not everybody's lived that kind of life and got to see inside of the actual lives. All we know is the records that we've listened to and the stories we've heard.
Well, I mean, just, you know, like I told you guys before, I mean, 3 years, you know, going to my aunt's house, you know, and I see this little scraggly little guy, you know, white guy sitting on the porch, drunk. You know what I'm saying? You know, just tore up from the floor up, you know. And how you doing, Steve? Step over. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh man.
For 3 years. He was hanging with Mr. Rochelle, Mr. Rachel, Yank Rachel. That's my auntie used to date him back in the day. And he was from Indianapolis, world-renowned blues mandolin player. But see, like I said, I just don't, you know, volunteer information unless, you know, people, we get to talking about it. But, you know, 3 years straight, I used to step over him on the front porch. That's before he got sobered up and got with Alton.
Right.
You know, the rest is history.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. 3 years. I wish I had you know, really got to know him, but I mean, you know, just like I say, just there and hanging out with Mr. Rachel, you know, just doing his thing.
And in that sort of a household where there's so many people, legends and musicians coming and going, it's hard to know which one's going to be the next great.
Exactly.
You know, they're all great. They're all great, but you never know which one's going to hit that peak with popularity, you know, and selling records and all that. So
was that down in Texas where Stevie Ray Vaughan?
That was in Indiana.
Indiana, huh?
Yes. That was before he got sobered up. That was when he was running with Mr. Rachel. Like I said, Mr. Rachel, the world-renowned mandolin blues guitar player. Those got a chance to Google it up, they can see that for themselves. And Mr. Rachel, my auntie was an item. So, like I said, every summer I'd be there. You know, at least once or twice a summer. And I know for 3 years straight, I used to see this little guy, man, a little skinny guy, man, hanging around Mr. Rachel. He'd always high drunk, you know.
All right.
And man, okay, Steve, hey, what's up? Okay, okay, that's it.
Exactly.
As far as it went.
Yeah.
And then years down the road, I see this cat on TV, man, on MTV and stuff, and I said, dang, this dude looked familiar. And next thing I know, it was Stevie.
You're like, I stepped over that guy a lot,
Exactly. Yeah.
Should have picked him up as a guitar player.
Oh, well,
That would have worked out.
you should have picked me up as a harp player. I wasn't playing then. So,
How could you around that many musicians not play? I don't.
Well,
it seems like you grew up around so many musicians.
I did. Well, actually, singing was the thing for me. It was, like I said, I sang in a quartet for quite a few years before I started singing blues. But singing was my thing, and when I was in the service, I sang a cappella. In the a cappella group, we call ourselves the Persuasions too. And we patternized ourselves after the Persuasions, and I didn't know until here recently that Mr. Lawson had just passed. Jerry Lawson, the lead singer for the Persuasions, all those years on all those records and stuff. So,
what a voice!
Yes, beautiful, man. I think there's only one original left. J. Otis Washington, who was the tenor singer, and that's it. Out of the guys, passed on.
Yeah, man. Well, that's like I say. I would think growing up around that many musicians, it'd be hard to not pick up a guitar or a harmonica or something. But if you're singing, at least
let me tell you this story. If mine is listening, I told him this story. When I was a kid, they actually gave me a guitar and I had an amp, and I was going to Halpin getting lessons. Well, I had an uncle at home that was corrupting my mind because he was trying to show me blues licks on the guitar, and I'm trying to learn how to play Amazing Grace and everything else. And then I come home, and then he's like retuning my guitar and doing stuff. And I was playing Bo Diddley on my guitar, and I had the amp turned all the way up. And Grandpa and them, I was raised in my grandparents' house, my mom's folks, and I was playing I had that guitar going dun 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 dun,
a little hand
and all of a sudden the door busted open and Grandpa grabbed that guitar and threw it straight down the hall because he wasn't a music buff. My mom's people, so he wasn't into music like that. So needless to say, that ended my guitar career right there. So.
Little Bo Diddley, little hand job. There's
I wasn't singing, but I was strumming though.
You familiar with the old song "Mystery Train"? It's been done by been done by everybody. Yeah. Well, so I'm in a little band with my wife, and she said we should play that song, and she learned the bass line, but I keep doing the hand jive to it, and it confuses. She's getting used to it now, but I'm like, how come nobody ever does the hand jive to "Mystery Train"? It really works out good, man. Mix and match these sounds a little bit, man.
Yeah.
I love me some Bo Diddley. Got to see him play one time down in BB King's club, playing the old square guitar there, man.
Yeah. He was here at Argosy twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came down to Argosy. I seen him both times.
Yeah, I missed him on both those. There's been quite a few bands hit that Argosy, and it seems like I'm always either running sound or booked with another band or something. That's the bad thing about being part of the music scene is that you miss a lot of good shows.
Yes, you do.
But you see a lot of good shows.
But you see a lot of stuff too.
Speaking of good shows, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Specifically tonight, look at this, a whole page just tonight.
Oh man, is there a whole page on Thursday?
Just for
That's
Thursday.
Amazing.
As you can tell, I got maybe 6 or 7, 8 pages of stuff to go through here. Because it's Mardi Gras weekend.
Woohoo!
So everybody's got one of those parties going off. I don't mention it's a Mardi Gras party. It's a Mardi Gras party.
Oh,
right?
Man,
right?
Yeah.
That's right.
The sea shanties are doing their thing at Morrison's tonight. They got DJ Denice, Dwayne Williams at Bossa Nova. They got the open mic with Jamie Dunn and Devon McClendon down at the Raging Cajun tonight, and the open mic at Germania Brew House tonight. Hollywood 5 at Fast Eddie's. Starting at 7, and then open mic hosted by Jeff McGee at 8 o'clock tonight at Third Shoot in Alton.
Nice.
Jared Lutz up at Stagger Inn tonight. DJ Bobby doing the back bar in Edwardsville. Mo Pleasure, 6 p.m. at the Lake House at Buffalo Park tonight in Maryville. Rob Miles doing 7 to 10 at Georgia's Local Brew in Jerseyville. Is that Big George's local brew? That's just George. That's just George.
That's just George. That's just regular George.
It's regular.
Yeah. Then riding shotgun started at 6 at the Prairie Inn in Dorsey. Open mic and jam session 7-ish tonight at the Imperial Pub in Granite City. And Scott and Mechelle wraps up tonight's list 6 p.m. at LaSalle's in Granite City.
There you go, man.
So get out and support live music.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a Thursday. Lot on a Thursday, and we're not talking St. Louis, baby. That's this side of the river, man.
That's right.
So that's fabulous. You guys probably play every weekend, but you get a lot of during the week gigs. Those are a little tougher to.
Every once in a blue moon, we might do Hammerstones on a Thursday night. If she needs, she'll call us.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to do Great Grizzly Bear this year. This will be our first time. Coming up here in a couple months.
Nice.
We're doing River City Casino down there on the south side. Mm-hmm. We're going to be doing some things there this year. But through the week, not too much through the week. Mm-hmm. Stagger if they need us. We're going to fill in for them if they need us for something.
Well, it seems like the Thursdays are starting to pick up, so that's good, man. You love to see that. Now it's time for some of these venue owners start on Wednesdays. Well, it used to be that you could see live music at all the bars 4 or 5 nights a week back in the day. Well, that was the thing, man.
Honestly, Pigpen, it is. We just talk from Thursday to Sunday because that's all the time we have in an hour.
It is. Yeah, it's true.
There's stuff happening on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, including like local showcases now on Wednesday nights at a lot of the bars that we talk about. But, we get here on Thursday, so it's kind of worthless to say, last night, guess what happened? You missed it.
And we've only got 1 hour. If we had more time, we could talk about now next week, next Wednesday. We don't have that much time. No, we don't have that. It's too interesting to talk to our guests like Big George. I mean, we want to read the list and we want people to know what's going on.
That's right.
But we like to talk to Big George.
Well, I aim to please.
So we better get into Friday because I got a page and a half on a Friday night and probably 3 on Saturday.
Well, Big George is going to skedaddle here in just a couple minutes, so I was going to see if he had anything else he wanted to promote before you leave and want to talk about.
Well, other than just like I said, the NGK band come out and support us. We're on Facebook. Hit us up, like our page, and we don't put any gibberish on there. We just put where we're going to be. So you can follow us around all over the Metro East, wherever we're at. You can catch us on Facebook. We got a CD getting ready to come out here in the next month or so, and actually Lighthouse Studios.
Nice.
We're dealing with that. So
excellent. Good to hear that.
So we got some things going on.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, I didn't mean to shuffle him out of here, Pigpen. I just found out that he had to go.
I sorry about that. I didn't mention that. I'm sorry. My bad.
That's vital information.
Yeah, well, you can see I'm a great communicator. I got a degree in communications. It's crazy.
Well, I appreciate you guys, man. I love you guys, man. Appreciate you having me on. And, well, they call me a lover. Take my time, love my baby slow. Well, I can love my baby from the living room to the kitchen floor. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, right on. Love you, George. Thanks, buddy.
You can check Big George Brock Jr. and NGK on Friday night at Stagger Inn, and then up at Grafton Winery on Saturday from 3 to 7 this weekend. Big George Brock and the NGK band. Big George Brock Jr., the Prince, self-proclaimed Prince of the Blues.
Son of the self-proclaimed king.
Right.
There we go. And I think that would be hilarious if we could actually set up a ring and have them do another duo.
I think you're done with your wrestling career.
I don't think those guys like me anymore.
Well, I hope they sent you that message telling you they were going to be in East Alton.
The judge won't talk to me no more. I don't know why.
That's not what I seen. Mr. Shane Jones. You didn't get that message?
I I did not get that message.
See, I got to talk to you about this stuff on air. Because that's when I find out what's going on.
Me too. I don't know what's going on with Shane Jones.
I was like, what? George has got to leave.
Yeah, he told me that just before he's coming in. So anyway, but we got a heck of a lot to discuss about what's going on. But what's happening with WPW?
Well, that's down the line. I was just trying to find out if they contacted you. So
I've not heard from them yet.
They've got one before that. Excellent. I don't remember exactly all the details because I got this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to talk about.
Well, let's get to it, man. There's a lot going on here.
All right,
big weekend.
So we start at the Backroom of Bottle and Barrel on Friday night. Little known fact. 8 p.m.
8 p.m. right on. Then we got Justin Ra and Milo Gralnick, 8 p.m. at Jacoby's Art Center in Alton.
I'm going to let you go on that one.
Mila,
it might be Milo. It might be Milo.
Milo, I'm sorry, Milo.
I don't know.
Milo, Milo, I'm not.
I said I'm going to let you go.
I don't mind discussing it. We got Mila, I do know that one.
Yeah.
Mila Duffey, 9 p.m. at Morrison's Irish Pub. On Friday night. DJ Karaoke, 9:30 p.m. at the Third Shoot in Alton, Illinois. And Exit 52, 8 p.m. at Fast Eddie's Bon Air. All right, we got Kevin Frakes. It's a Kenny Rogers tribute. So that's at 7:30 at the Alton Little Theater. Now I don't remember them doing a lot of music, but they're doing the Kenny Rogers tribute there.
Yeah. You hang out there a lot, I guess.
No, I've only been there a few times,
that's
but it's
probably
always
why you don't remember. You don't do a lot of music. No,
I just don't remember them.
They do occasionally,
announcing it much.
Well,
but yeah, Kevin Frakes, Kenny Rogers.
Thanks to the Alton Little Theater, they actually run ads on this station. So
yeah,
you probably don't listen to them though.
I don't listen to what people tell me to buy. I usually don't. I'm sorry. Yeah. Deadmans Bridge, 9:30 p.m. at the Pump House this Friday in Wood River, Illinois.
Scott and Mechelle, 7 p.m. at the Moose Lodge in Wood River. Flipside at the Franchise in Wood River.
We got the Vault, 7 to 11 p.m. at the Elks Club in Granite City.
And we talked about Big George Brock Jr. and the NGK band doing the Stagger in on Friday night, 9 o'clock. The Happy Hour, the Lefty Daytona band, 5 to 8.
There you go, man. So get out and see the...
Mike Alvers, I believe, in that band.
And the Lefty Daytona band. There you go.
So, yeah.
So that's 5 to 8, and Big George and then Junior and NGK, 9 p.m. out there tomorrow night at the Stagger Inn again. Anthony Gomes, Gomes. Anthony Gomes, 8 p.m. at the Wildey Theater. I am unfamiliar with that name. Do you know that one?
Well, he had a guitar and he had long hair.
Okay.
So I'm assuming he's one of those guitar players with long hair that you step over on your porch in Indiana, right? Wouldn't you think? Okay. I don't know. Something similar. Well, I guess I'm trying to say you must be a guitar slinger.
Right, a guitar slinger. Okay, but a lot of the stuff at the Wildey, I recognize the names right off the bat.
There's guitar players out there going, "Are you kidding me? You ain't heard of Anthony Gomes? That dude's a shredder. Guitar for the practicing musician, latest 6 centerfold. Come on."
I still got the centerfold, 1976. It was beautiful.
You know, man, he plays through Marshalls and has of last fall.
You just described so many guitar players. You just described a whole lot of guitar players. Well, long hair, has a Marshall and a Les Paul. That's a lot of guys.
I'm not trying to be stereotypical.
Anyway, sorry, Anthony, if we messed up your name.
I might be trying to be funny, but might not be trying to be funny too.
Either way,
it all depends on the timing.
You being sarcastic?
No,
I don't even know.
It's worth the fight.
It is.
That's what it is.
Absolutely.
It is WTF.
Worth worth the fight. 9 p.m. at the Back Bar in Edwardsville tomorrow night.
See, when I see WTF, I'm like, yeah, it's worth the fight. And they're like, that's not what I mean by that.
Oh, WTF, man, worth the fight.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, right on. And they're like, really? I was disagreeing. Like, oh, okay. Your F must mean something else. I'm not sure.
So does the W. But the T's dead on.
Okay,
it's dead on no matter what. Anyway.
So, yeah, that's the Back Bar Friday night, 9 o'clock.
We got karaoke going on 8 p.m. at the Lake House at Buffalo Park in Maryville.
Mm-hmm. All the buffaloes are not extinct. Double wide deal, 8 p.m. at the Cabin at Judy Creek and Glen Carbon, and the infamous TBA.
I love those guys.
And I think the reason it is TBA, and I'm just guessing, okay, because I don't know for sure, but I think it's because there's a blues game that night.
Yeah, makes sense.
So there was like people scheduled except that night, and I seen a blues advertisement.
Yeah, they might be playing the blues game on the big screen, on the old flat screen. So anyway, there you go. It's TBA, Georgia. Meanwhile, open mic night, 7 p.m. at the Hog Pit in Grafton tomorrow night.
I was able to contact the Hog Pit, and I asked them, I said, is that every Friday night you guys are doing that? Yep, was the answer. Yep. So I'm going with every Friday night up the Hog Pit. Yep. It's an open mic. And really cool, because Grafton needs an open mic up there. I mean, with all them guys that play acoustics on the weekend, why not all get together and work some new stuff out on Friday night and then play the weekend at the winery? Right?
Or maybe some guys who want to be those guys who play at the winery and need a place to get their chops.
Better yet, the guys they won't let into the winery. Those are the guys I would appreciate.
Hey, we got a phone call coming in, it looks like.
That's a wrong line. Grand Band, 6:30 p.m. at the Canton Inn in Hillsboro on Friday night. Beowulf doing the River City Casino, 8 p.m. on Friday night.
All right.
Doc Holiday Band, 8 p.m. at Kelly's Corner in Pocahontas. Rogers and Neen House, 7 p.m. at Crehan's Irish Pub in Belleville. We are still talking about Friday night.
Wow.
Flipside, 9 p.m. at Shotzi's in Belleville. And finally, our buddies Hayes Bond, 9 p.m. at Schmitty's Sunset Inn in Troy.
There you go. Hayes Bond. Now, those guys, man, they had the misfortune when they played Happy Trails a few weeks ago of the smoke detectors going off while they were playing. So right in the middle of their set, just a big...
I think it was... Beep, beep. I want to say last week we missed their gig at Bottle and Barrel. It just slipped past me. I didn't even see it. So, I mean, just because we've mentioned, 30 gigs already, I miss them still.
Yep.
I mean, it blows my mind. It's like, man, that has to be everything, and it's not. Speaking of Mardi Gras, there's another big celebration going on this Saturday. Legend from our town. One of the greatest riverbend talents of all time. It's going to be 102 years old.
Robert Wadlow.
Yeah, you won't be able to see him, maybe photos.
Oh, man.
But, what was it? 8'11" and a half. 25.
8'11" and a half. Wowzers.
7'9", I think, actually. But if you want to get details... He was over 8'11". So.
Yeah.
Over.
Huge man.
You see that every day,
man.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
8'11" people walking. Just think about that for a minute.
That's like the land of giants.
Yeah, there's a 7-footer. Add 2 to that.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
That's
Anyways, it's his birthday party.
Yeah, there you go.
And so the Gaslight Squares are playing at the Old Bakery Brewery for his birthday party. And I see Gaslight Squares, you know what I think of? Jack the Ripper. I don't know why. So, and then I think of...
someone else trying to call in again. They hung up and they're calling back.
I just told you, that's the office line. And it's probably a fax number. Listen to me. I'm telling you. Ignore it. And then we won't waste a minute talking about phones ringing. I know people are excited.
I just see the lines.
Hey, everybody, Pigpen wants to announce the phone's ringing. He thinks that's an important amount of information you need at this moment.
Thought it was someone calling in.
Yeah. Seriously, that's why I was trying to get you to ignore it. So anyways, we're back to Saturday. You want to read this one?
Sure. It's the Rise Music Fest
Yeah,
and
okay.
Art Showcase. Doors at 6:30 p.m. It's the main gallery stage. That is going on at Jacoby's Art Center, and we've got 7 to 7:30.
See, you kind of messed up already, so let's back up. There's 2 stages. So now you're at the main gallery stage from 7
to 7:30. Okay, I wasn't sure. That's why I said it was at the Jacoby Art Center, because I'm like, that might throw people off the main gallery stage.
You know,
main gallery stage.
When you throw festivals, they're confusing.
Nope, 7 to 7:30 on the main gallery stage. Detta Robinson.
All right.
Speak Freely, spoken word.
All right. Then on the Bond gallery stage from 7:30 to 8:30, you have Steve Lewis and Raw Earth, which is urban tribal fusion.
And on the main gallery stage, 8:45 to 9:15, the Black Rabbit Hole, abstract esoteric soundscape.
Nice. Bond gallery stage 9:30 to 10, Noah 22K, and internet user. Unknown internet user. I wanted to put the
There
K
we
in.
go.
You see that now? Unknown
I
internet
see
user.
it.
It's not really spelt that way.
No, not at all.
It's like a maybe a log on or something. Internet thingy.
There you go. That's hip hop, rap and hip hop.
Right.
There you go.
Then on the Bond gallery stage, 10:15 to 11. Go ahead.
The Suburban Rocket Launchers.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You know who that is, right?
That is Robbie Beard.
That's right.
There you go.
And that's at Jacoby's Art Center. That's the Rise Fest Music and Art Showcase.
There you go, man.
Yeah. Festival.
Yeah, the
In
festival
town.
in town.
Saturday.
Hey, man, that's great, man. We just we keep getting more and more festivals. I love it, man. It gives a chance for a lot of music to get out there. So, also this Saturday we've got Dead Roses, Pickin' Daisies, and Karen Choi. 8 p.m. at the back room of the Bottle and Barrel. Pickin' Daisies is going to be on with us next week. We'll talk more about not this show, but they've got some other shows coming up.
Okay. Rum Runners, 8 p.m. at Morrison's Irish Pub on Saturday, and Outskirts, 9:30 p.m. at Third Shoot in Alton. We got a whole nother page.
Yeah, we
Look
got
at that. We're still on Saturday.
Right. Mars Needs Guitars, 8 p.m. to midnight, Shea, Maryland, on Saturday evening.
2 more pages, by the way.
And we also got Naked Soul, 3 p.m., and then Exit 52 at 8 p.m. at Fast Eddie's Bon Air this Saturday evening.
The Kevin Franks Kenny Rogers tribute continues on Saturday as well, 7:30 at the Alton Little Theater. $25 for that one.
There you go. Check out the
top-notch
Gambler.
tribute.
Right.
That's-
Ragin' Cajun Piano, 10th anniversary Mardi Gras party going on. Pianos, 8 to midnight in Alton. So there you go.
That's what they normally do is pianos.
Right.
Just people like trading off on pianos, right?
Oh, yeah, they got 2 pianos already set up in there, and you can just kind of sit there and hammer out at each other. Pretty cool.
Should we just blow by that 10th anniversary like, oh, wow, 10th anniversary, no big deal? Or should we go, wow, that's really cool. They've been there 10 years.
It is cool. 10 years, not easy to make it.
I'm not sure how to talk.
In a business like that. So there you go.
All right. Well, he's back, folks, for another round. Go ahead, Pigpen. Your old buddy.
Gabby and Friends, 2 to 6 p.m. at the Mardi Gras at the Moose in Wood River, Illinois. So there you go.
When's the last time you seen Gabby?
That's been a few years. Been since down in the Rosewood Heights, not really, East Alton area by the big round bank. There was a little bar he used to play at.
One of the first guys I ever seen do like the solo thing where he had multiple instruments going. By using machines and different things. And then they eventually went to guys doing that with loops. But Gabby was doing similar to that. He was playing the tracks, but at that time, it was unheard of to see that. So
it was guys like him that helped make people go, we should make a machine to do this.
Yeah.
So
it's good to see Gabby still at it, though.
There you go. Leslie and Scott, 5 to 8 p.m. and Walk On at 9:30 p.m. That's at the Pump House in Wood River this Saturday evening.
Right. Flipside, 9 p.m. at the Franchise in Wood River.
We got the Mondin Band, 1 to 5 p.m. Roper's Regal Beagle.
Right, and Flip the Frog then at 7 o'clock at Roper's Regal Beagle.
That's going to be a good night out
Mardi
there.
Gras party there.
Absolutely. We got the Grand Band, Bakers and Hale and Godfrey. Good food out there, and they're going to have a pretty good band out there Saturday. The Grand Band, 7 p.m.
All right, and then Sidecar, George's Local Brew, 7 to 10 in Jerseyville on Saturday.
And we got...
Let me see if you get this.
Marty Grafton. Marty Grafton. Marty Grafton.
There you go.
Yeah,
finally.
there we go. Marty Grafton. Well, yeah.
I wondered if you'd go with the S, and I'm like, he won't. He knows how to say Gra.
It's Marty Grass. That's
Marty Grafton.
Marty Grafton.
Right.
And that's Mardi Gras Grafton style. Drifters Bangin' Noise Parade will leave Drifters parking lot at 2 p.m. led by the brass band, and we ask everyone to bring your pots and pans or whatever you want to play, and we'll march right down to the hog pit. Yep. There you go. So if you've ever wanted to be in a parade but never got to be in one, now is your chance. Anybody can be in this parade.
So Grafton's putting on their first big Mardi Gras.
Nice.
Okay, and that's the first part of it there. Now, of course, all the bands are going to be playing at the different places like Jake Weber and Lonesome Drifters.
Yeah.
3 to 7 at the Hog Pit in Grafton. Big George Brock's going to be up there.
Yeah.
The NGK band 3 to 7 at the Grafton Winery.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there'll be other music, including that brass band with everybody in their pots and pans. And probably beads and stuff, right?
Oh, man.
I don't remember how that all happens, but...
Well, just to see an old school parade where anybody can join would be neat.
Right.
Because that's the way the old Mardi Gras, some of the original Mardi Gras parades were they were just people partying. And look, it's Fat Tuesday, baby. We gotta settle down tomorrow. Let's get it out of our system now. Some people try to settle down the next day. Some people just keep going. I don't know.
They're trying to bring some of that Mardi Gras downtown Alton. No parade that I know of, but some of the bars are, like I said, it's almost every bar was trying to tie something to Mardi Gras. But if you see here, Grafton is really taking it to where a Mardi Gras party should be, just like we'll talk about in a minute, Wordy Gras, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Big Wordy Gras is just huge, man. It's crazy.
So anyways, let's go back to Worth the Fight at the Back Bar in Edwardsville. John Wilson, 5 to 8, and then 120 minutes, 9 p.m. at the Stagger and again.
We got Charlotte Street, 6 p.m. at Who Dat's in Collinsville.
Scott and Mechelle, 5 p.m. at Clancy's in Granite City. Fireball at Patrick's in Granite City.
All for Nothing, 8 p.m. at the Lake House at Buffalo Park in Maryville, Illinois. And then Wordy Gras, 2020.
Right, in Warden.
Yes.
Couple different bars participating with giant heated tents.
Yeah.
It's very important for this time of year.
Absolutely.
The next bar in Warden will have the Gusto from 1 to 4 and Riding Shotgun from 6 to 10. Yeah. And the Yellow Dog, the infamous Yellow Dog in Warden, will have Beowulf at 1 p.m.
Nice.
Powerhouse 747, 6 to 10 in the heated tent.
Nice. There we go, man. It's going to be a good time up in Warden there. Also, Deadmans Bridge, 8 p.m. Wordy Gras after party at Wiggler's in Edwardsville, right down the road. So,
see how they're latching onto that, and I thought that was pretty smart at Wiggler's.
It absolutely is smart, because how many people are going to be leaving Warden and sort of heading
home?
Well, and sort of heading back this way, where that's a stop along the way.
They get halfway home, and they're like, let's go ahead and stop and have one more. Yeah.
Right, man. So there you go.
Guys from Power Trip back at it at 9 p.m. at the Corner Keg in Highland. I love the name of this band, because to me, I don't know if you remember this, but it cracked me up when I seen this. This is the debut of this band, and they're called the Burma Shavers from 6:30 to 10 at the Canton in Hillsboro, Illinois. Do you remember the Burma Shaver signs? Do you remember those billboards? See, I thought you might be just a little too young.
I don't quite remember the Burma Shavers. I remember Santa Claus riding in on an electric shaver, always let me know Christmas was here.
So you used to drive down, specifically like a Route 66 would be a good example of this, and billboards were way more entertaining back in those days. And Burma come up with this idea to kind of give you clues as you're driving. And the answer would always be Burma Shave at the end, right? But they'd come up with little keen phrases to get you set up for that at some point, and you knew it was coming.
Right.
But you had to follow along as you were driving. So there'd be like 2 or 3 sets of signs. Then you drive a little while, and there'd be 2 or 3 more. You knew it was coming. Yeah. Google image that at some point, and you'll get what I'm talking about. Thurston Howell, 8 p.m. at Rooster's Pub in Staunton. I go back to the Burma Shavers thinking about how hard it is to name your band now. You're naming it after Billboard advertising.
Hey, you know what? It's better to do that than name it something that 20 other bands got. So
right. Well, the Lefty Daytona band, I bet that's theirs.
I know 5 Lefty Daytona.
You do?
No, I don't.
In the Philippines, right?
From the Philippines, exactly.
5 to 9 p.m. at Camp Station in Staunton on Saturday. We're still going here on Saturday with another page to go.
There you go. World Powerhouse Wrestling presents Fallout 2020 at 7 p.m. at the American Legion in Columbia, Illinois. So there we go.
Now, next month is when they're here in town.
Right.
And I got this message saying, hey, we're close. That's all it said. I think you know what that means. I think it's time for you to make up.
I'm ready to make up. I'm just afraid I'm going to get jumped outside the building, and I'm going to be the one bloody laying on the ground. Okay. I don't want that.
Maybe we threw through that second page right there because next is Sunday. But we got one more for Saturday.
We got one more big one here, man. Our buddy Steve Scorfini.
And this is for all the folks that are heading over to the St. Louis Mardi Gras. This is where you want to end up after that.
Steve Scorfina's annual Mardi Gras, 7 p.m. at the National Blues
Party
Museum.
He's
Party Gras. I like it. I like it. Party Gras.
Yeah.
We're not even going to pretend, man.
No, we know it's up here.
Yeah.
The National Blues Museum, though, in St. Louis at 7 o'clock, Steve Scorfina.
Awesome, man.
So that'd be great after the parade.
Excellent.
Now we move to Sunday, and something we haven't mentioned yet here on the radio, Andy Bensman's 65th birthday party.
I was hanging out with Andy the other day, and he was cracking up about us giving Jeff so much trouble last
Well, that's what I was going for.
He got a kick out of it.
I was hoping Andy got a kick out of it.
He did. At least he told me he did, but he lies to me a lot.
Yeah, he does. So. Now, you better watch it because he will tackle you and knock you off your mini bike. So.
I treated him with more respect than I was like, hello, Mr. Bensman. Right. Is this seat taken? Can I sit next to you and have a word? I was...
Anyways, his birthday's happening at the Regal Beagle on Sunday with his band, Cricket and the Grilled Avocados, playing from 4 to 8. Regal Beagle going to be hopping this weekend.
It's going to be the place to be, man. Mm-hmm. One of the many places to be, let's say. The Truckers, 2 p.m., and then Nate Sickmeyer and Company, 7 p.m. at Fast Eddie's Bon Air.
All right, and that's on Sunday. Mon Band is always 10 p.m. and Mike's 10 Pin in Alton. And one more Kenny Rogers show.
There you go.
At the Alton Theater at 2 o'clock. That's the matinee afternoon if he couldn't make it Friday and Saturday.
Right on. Then we've got the Alton Symphony Orchestra at 3 p.m. at the Hathaway Hall at Lewis and Clark Community College in Godfrey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they are doing Shakespeare. Something Shakespeare. I can't remember. Yeah.
Right on.
I'm sure Alex knows all about it, right? Isn't he in that band?
Well, he played bass for him last time they were in town.
I think his mom's in that band.
Right.
Yeah. Open mic Sunday and Wednesday at the Stagger Inn again, 9 o'clock. Scott and Mechelle, 3 o'clock at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville on Sunday. Big Wheels spinning 2 to 6 at the Grafton Winery on Sunday. Fuse 5, 4 p.m. at the Lake House at Buffalo Park in Maryville. The Grand Band, 2 o'clock at Bella Vista Winery in Maryville. Banjo Jack, 2 to 4 at Owl's 520 Club in Madison. And our buddies 33 on the Needle going to do an original show on a Sunday night over at Schlafly Tap Room. They'll be with Overnighter and Astral Mouth, 9 p.m. Schlafly Tap Room in St. Louis.
There we go, man. That 33 on the Needle, Overnighter, and Astral Moth. Nice. That's a good lineup there.
Yeah.
Charlotte Street, 2 p.m. at Hidden Lake Winery in Aviston, Illinois.
Yeah, and the guys from Inner Outline sent me this one. Another Lost Year in Cold Kingdom with Torchlight Parade, Inner Outlines, and Shallow State. 6 to 11 at Red Flag in St. Louis. Doors are 6 tickets $15 in advance, 15 day of the show, $3 surcharge for under 21, so all ages welcome. And that's at the Red Flag. And when you think of Red Flag, okay, Pigpen, what kind of club would you think that is? I'm just curious if you're tied into where that comes from.
I am not. When I think of Red Flag, I think of, well, I need one of those because I got a board sticking out of the back of my truck when I leave, the local lumber store.
I'm thinking that's tied to punk rock.
Black Flag.
Well, not quite Black Flag, but you just have to do some research.
Really? Okay. Red Flag. Okay.
Who knows? Maybe it's tied to aerosol. I don't know. Cans of poison. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
Could be raid.
It could be raid. It could, absolutely. I'm not. I don't know. Look into the Red Flag.
I'm a little concerned. That's all.
I'm concerned. Okay. Well, it sounds like something to be concerned over. I'm going to be honest.
No, I just bring it up because it's. I seen them posting more original shows. I'm not 100% how long they've been around, but they seem to be maybe a newer place.
All right.
I'm guessing. New to me.
Right. I've not heard of the Red Flag until just now, so there you go. But time to go check it out, I guess. So there you go.
Original music there, so that's definitely got my interest.
Absolutely.
All right, every Monday night they do the open mic at Bottle and Barrel.
Hosted by the Extraordinary Blues Band.
Mm-hmm. They do something on every Monday night at Prairie Inn in Dorsey. This week it's going to be Cluster Pluck.
Oh, nice.
6 p.m. And then Trent and Annie doing 6 p.m. at Fast Eddie's Bon Air in Alton. And we could do a Tuesday. We could do a Wednesday. We could do a next Thursday. But, I mean, that took the entire hour. And we barely got to talk to George Brock.
Yeah. Well, but Big George is out there doing it. And he's Big George Brock Jr., right? Big
self-proclaimed prince.
Big George Brock is still out there,
yes.
But
Stagger in Friday night.
Yeah,
Crafton Winery with the Mardi Gras celebration on Saturday. So
there you go, 3 to 7
If you haven't checked out Big George Brock Jr., this is the weekend to do it.
Absolutely. And that Friday night, he where'd you say it was? I'm sorry.
The Stagger Inn.
Stagger Inn. There you go. That starts at. I'm trying to find it.
By the time he wakes up from that show, he'll be at the Crafton Winery.
I was going to say he's going to have to get over there early to get up and get over there early to the Crafton Winery.
He'll just keep it going the whole time. Big George will just keep it going the whole time.
It's such a fun guy to have on the show. Such a fun guy to just bump into out in public and hang out with, sit down and have a drink with, talk the blues. A wealth of knowledge. We barely scratched the surface with the guy, and he's got so many stories. We could have a 3-hour show and have him as our only guest and probably still not hear every story.
Yeah.
Because he's got so many.
I don't know if he'd tell us all those on air.
That's true.
Which is why you want to go see Big George Brock live, because he will tell you live.
Right.
You just don't want to call anybody out on the radio. That's all.
He has got some stories, and he's got the inside track on a lot of what's happened with the blues for the past 30, 40 years. It's crazy.
You know what else he's got that we didn't talk about?
An excellent band.
A lot of brothers and sisters. A lot of brothers and sisters.
Big George Sr. is 87 and has spread some seed, let me tell you. More than your average farmer.
50-something children?
I was thinking it was 43. I was thinking it was 43.
No, that can't be.
One of the things that stunned me was like 3 sets of triplets.
Yeah.
There's 9 kids right there. Just 3 sets. And I don't know how many sets of twins.
It's on the original podcast. I don't know if we talked about that last time he was on.
It's just one of those things we don't. He's got so many stories. We just start talking and see where it goes with that man.
Yeah, which is with that many siblings, that's why he knows all the blues guys. I'm just saying, he had plenty of room to spread out there and meet people, right?
Yeah,
it's always an aunt or an uncle or somebody that's that knows the guy or
Stevie Ray Vaughan. Holy smoke!
Yeah, we hadn't heard that. It was a brand new name.
I was going to say him talking about stepping over Stevie Ray Vaughan in Indiana for 2 weeks or whatever. I had not heard that story.
He didn't even tell us about the time Muddy Waters invented electricity. Remember that? Remember that?
I do.
Yeah, down there in the Delta. He was there. And Bo Diddley.
It was nothing but acoustics till he showed up, man. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, man.
So there you go, man. Big George Brock, son of the self-proclaimed king of the blues.
Right. He may be the king of the blues.
He may be the king of the blues. Anyway.
He is in our world.
for sure in our world. And his amazing band, the NGK band. Hopefully next time we'll get him to bring some of those cats in, and we'll get to hear some more history from those guys too.
Yeah, well, I think they've heard the show. They probably we'll just send George.
they're like, George, we don't want to go, man. Here's the thing.
That is a call.
Okay,
that is a call. We got to take
let's
this.
Do it.
WBGZ, you are on the air.
Hey, what's happening, Pigpen? This is Aaron, the drummer from Hayes Bond.
Oh,
what is happening, Mr. Aaron? How you living?
I'm doing pretty good. I got the rest of the band here with me. How are you guys?
We're doing good. We were talking about your show earlier, coming up this week in Troy?
Yep, we got a show in Troy over at Schmitty's.
Yep.
The Sunset Inn again.
Right.
Yeah, we should be going on at about 9. We're going to be playing all night.
Cool.
So is this your first time playing at Schmitty's?
Yes, it is. I think it's our first time out in Troy, too. So, yeah.
Nice.
First timers, check you out.
Now, did Jimmy G send you out that way?
Yeah, I think he did. Maybe this might have been. I think they got a hold of us on our own. Maybe I don't remember now.
Nice. Well, go ahead. That's good to hear that, man. I'm glad to see that. It's the first time I've heard the name Schmitty's. As much as we read gigs, this is the first time I'm hearing that name. So to us, it's a new place. To you, it's a new place. You're gonna have to call us back and report after the gig and tell us how it turned out for you.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
You guys are staying pretty busy. What else you got going on?
So on 5/9, our next big show we're looking forward to is the Stagger Inn. We always love playing at the Stagger. We all grew up in Edwardsville, so that's going to be happening. Right after that, on the 15th of the same month, we're doing the Trinity River Festival.
Nice.
I think us and Spilly Nelson are closing that out on Saturday, is what I talked to Doug about recently.
Nice.
So that looks super cool. We've got, right after that, about a month after that, the Grafton Oyster Bar on 6/13.
Nice.
And then in the later part of the summer, we've got Framley Fest and the Spilly Fest that they're doing. I think it's called like the Land of Lincoln.
Yep, Land of Lincoln. Yeah, awesome, man. That's
and actually, you know what? We just booked today Cinco de Mayo again. We play on Cherokee Street with Whiskey and Thunder. What's that? On the 2nd for the big Cinco de Mayo party that they do down on Cherokee Street.
Sweet.
nice.
That's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, we just booked that today, so that's exciting.
Excellent, man.
Nice,
Excellent.
nice.
Hayes Bond's keeping it going, man. You guys pumping out working on some new tunes, working on that next album already? Are you still enjoying listening to the other
pretty much like 2 albums that we're working on like simultaneously right now. We've got like a kind of like a country laid back vibe that's kind of on the back burner, and then we've got a bunch of new songs that we've been tearing through recently. Probably a good 10 in total, but 5 on each side, I'd say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys got it going on.
So when can we do a ghost investigation of the Hayes Bond ghost? I think we need to do an investigation.
I heard that they're doing. Yeah, I heard that they're doing tours down in Alton again.
Yeah,
you know, it's getting
we know some folks.
The new what are those the railroad tours that they've been doing that just opened up.
Yeah,
you know, maybe that'd be a chance to go find some ghosts down there. You know,
I want to know about
doing those tours.
I want to know about the Hayes Bond.
Yeah, we want to bring some investigators up to Dallas's house and find Hayes Bond.
We heard that first album. We know what's going on.
Well,
looking for some angels in disguise.
This is Dallas here. Pigpen, y'all, hey, stop by anytime. Come hang out.
All right.
Right on. That's
you might just leave with something though, so
I can get penicillin for that. No. I'll get checked out on that.
All right.
So, hey, thanks so much for calling in, guys, man. Good luck up at Schmitty's, and call back and let us know how that place is, because that's something new to all of us.
For sure. It seems like they've got a lot of shows coming up, too, is what we saw. So definitely check it out.
Awesome, man. Hey, thanks a lot.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you for being you. Love you guys.
You too, man.
Keep it
All right,
real.
man. See him.
All right, peace out. Hayesbond calling in. That's
you
a great
go.
way to end the show. So we can't say any more except thanks to Halpin Music Company for letting us have this format.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. That is just, man, we're so lucky.
Yeah, thanks for the sponsorship and the great service from both of them.
And all we ask you guys to do is get out and support local music and art. And next week, Pigpen?
Next week we got picking daisies.
Picking what?
Picking daisies. So
you're getting it right. This isn't a name you're making up.
It's picking actually, not even picking.
Here we go.
Daisies.
Oh.
So Sarah McGivney, Kara McGuire, and Jennifer Hayden.
Next week after the show to be something different. We'll talk to you next week.
All right.